What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours. We do have a lot of topics to discuss. Firstly, of course, Barcelona's #1 priority this summer is to reinforce the pivot position, and the list of 7 options for the club has been leaked. We're going to go through all the options, rank them, and I'll let you guys know who Barcelona's priority is and who isn't. Also, we have a big update on Ilkay Gundogan on how his transfer right now is at a halt, pending of course the Champions League final and Barcelona's situation as well. Thirdly, on the right back, we all know that's one of the priorities of Barcelona this summer alongside a pivot. We have the 3 main candidates for that list and who is the priority as well. We also have some updates on the future of Andreas Christensen and Franck Kessie. Every single player we have a loan update on who's out on loan: Dest, Lenglet, Umtiti, Abde, Nico, and Collado. Big update on the future of Jules Kounde, sleeve sponsor. Also on Iniest's farewell with Ezzalzouli and how he could play for Barcelona again. And finally, a big update on the captaincy on who will be the 4 captains next season. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes in this video. It'd be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past 48 hours. Now, we're first going to be discussing Barcelona's list of midfield options, pivot so to speak, to come in this summer. The list has broke from Gerardo, who of course is the #1 source around Barcelona. So what we're going to do is go through each one of the people on the list, analysis, and look at the list as an overview. Now, firstly, a player who is not on that list is Joshua Kimmich, and this came as a surprise to a lot of culés. Gerardo came out saying that Barcelona have identified 6 names of the pivot position, defensive midfield, but Joshua Kimmich is not among them. Joshua Kimmich is currently not a priority for Barcelona. Barcelona suspected the player contacted multiple clubs to see who offers more money and leverage Bayern into a renewal offer. So exactly what I said on the channel 48 hours ago. I think Kimmich is using us for a better contract, for better wages, or maybe other wages elsewhere. And you know what? Looks like that has come to fruition. So it looks like Kimmich is not on the main 6 on the list of pivot reinforcements for Barcelona this summer, but you never know. It could become an option later on if we don't make advancements in other areas. Let's now crack on with this list. This list, by the way, is very interesting. There's no particular order of this list. I'm going to go through the way that Gerardo revealed it. The first name, which we can all agree is the #1 priority, and everyone knows this. Gerardo confirms it as well. It's the only player that we know is #1. All the other ones are just kind of scoured all over the place. First one is, of course, Martin Zubimendi. Gerardo has come out saying that Zubimendi is still the first choice for both the board and Xavi for the pivot position. The offer should cost around 60 million euros without adding any Barcelona players as an exchange. So both the board and Xavi feel like the best player to come in to replace Busquets on the market that is feasible and realistic is Martin Zubimendi, and it looks like Barcelona are going to go for him. Whether they activate the release clause first, then negotiate with Zubimendi, or negotiate with Zubimendi first, if he's actually interested, then activate the release clause, remains to be seen. But it looks like Barcelona will be going and trying to sign Martin Zubimendi very soon. Also, Candesira come out saying that Xavi has made it fully clear that he wants Zubimendi to replace Busquets. Yes, he is the favorite. This report actually came out before Gerardo. So Zubimendi, #1 choice on the list. Sky is blue, grass is green. I think everyone already knew this. Let's now get into the other names that are very interesting. First up, again, these are all not in any particular order. Guido Rodriguez, we did speak about before on the channel. Have Miguel came out a few months ago saying that Guido Rodriguez is another option for the pivot. Xavi does like him, and now Gerardo has confirmed this. Guido Rodriguez is a possible alternative for the pivot position. Xavi also thinks he's a good option, but he raises some doubts among the club's board of directors. So this is a Xavi pick here. Xavi does like Guido Rodriguez. The board are still 50-50 on it. Now, I just don't get this, man. Xavi is the manager. He decides the team, the tactics, and he makes the decision. Why is the board having an influence? If Xavi walks in there and asks for Guido Rodriguez instead of Zubimendi, would the board sign him or not? I think the board wouldn't, and that for me is a big issue. You have to back the manager who has a football mind. I get it, we're not in for Guedo quite yet, but the fact that the board is saying Xavi, we don't really know, we don't really like the player, it's not your decision. You're not the coach. Bring the players that the coach wants. If Xavi wants Guedo Rodriguez, I back it 110%, and if it fails, you blame Xavi and you sack him if needs be. But anyways, Guedo Rodriguez is one of the options. Next option is Sofiane Amrabat. Jordan Miro came out saying that Sofiane Amrabat is also on the list of players to replace Busquets as a defensive pivot position. The Moroccan player at the moment, though, isn't a priority. Now, remember, Juan Martí has come out, I think, a few days ago saying that Amrabat is still top of the list to reinforce the pivot, and Jordan Miro is saying that's not the case. He's an option, but he's not a priority. I think right now you could say Zubimendi and Guedo Rodriguez are ahead of Amrabat. I personally do think that Amrabat is better than Guedo Rodriguez currently. I think as a single pivot, again, you have question marks. I think in a double pivot, he'd work absolute perfection. I saw him play actually in the Coppa Italia final against Inter, and he put in a good performance. I think his passing isn't really, maybe in that game was just an off day, but passing in that game wasn't that great. But I think his defensive recoveries, defensive tackles were absolutely superb. Now, Matteo Morito has come out saying that Fiorentina have assumed that the departure of Sofiane Amrabat will take place this summer. Barcelona and Atletico Madrid are among the several clubs who are interested in the player. So Fiorentina know that this summer Amrabat will leave. Price will be around 20-25 million euros. The question now is, where will he be going? Next name that we all heard about a lot over the past few weeks is, of course, Ruben Neves. Jordan Miro came out saying that Ruben Neves is one of the president's Joan Laporta's favorites as the Busquets replacement. The Portuguese player is represented by Jorge Mendes, an agent who maintains a very good relationship with the president of Barcelona. Again, I go back to what I said a minute ago. Why is it the board and the president making decisions? I remember a lot over the past few months, and also in his first tenure as president, Laporta coming out saying, I do not pick the players that come to Barcelona. It is the manager. I back the manager. Their football brain is better than mine. So why in God's green earth are you recommending a player who is not a pivot? Second of all, doing favors for an agent. Are we a charity? I mean, I'm being serious now. This stuff, we gotta keep Jorge Mendes happy. Let's sign with his players. That way when we need to renew Balde, Lamine Yamal again, or get rid of Ansu Fati, he'll help us. What is that? Yes, why you have agent fees and stuff like that. Give him a €1 million bonus or something and get him to shut up. I'm not gonna go sign players to please. He's gonna come. I think he's Laporta's favorite just to please Jorge Mendes, not because he's a good option. Anyways, Ruben Neves is on that list. Next three players are all three new players that have not been linked with Barcelona before. Maybe some minor links here and there in recent months, but brand new hard concrete links. First one is a new name on the channel, Arthur Vermeeren. I think this is how you say his name. Jordan Miro came out saying that Arthur Vermeeren, an 18-year-old Belgian player currently playing at Royal Antwerp in Belgium top division, is the name that enters the list of players as possible replacements for Busquets for the direction of Barcelona. Now, Arthur Vermeeren has been linked with Manchester United a lot as well in Premier League clubs. He's apparently the next big thing coming out in the DM position. He's in Belgium playing for Antwerp. He's doing very, very well. Haven't heard about him before. I did, hear some United links. I went to watch some of his highlights and see some of his numbers. They're pretty decent. So he's also an option. Now, once this report came out from Jordan Miro, there have been reports coming out from the Belgium media saying that Barcelona have scouted Arthur Vermeeren several times, but Antwerp want to keep the player as of now. So getting out of the Belgium side will be difficult, but he is a name on the list. Next two, this one is mad. N'Golo Kante. Jordan Miro's come out saying that in recent weeks after Busquets' departure was announced, N'Golo Kante's entourage contacted Barcelona to offer him his arrival. So once Busquets said he's going to be leaving, Kante's agent went to Barcelona, hey, Kante is available, you want him, he's all yours. So there's that option. I think, you stay clear of this. I thought he was about to renew with Chelsea. I haven't heard any news in a very, very long time, but way too injury prone N'Golo Kante. He's played 3-4 games this season. He comes back from injury, injured, comes back injured. No sir, if we want to do the signing, we should have done it 5-6 years ago. And the final name on this list is probably, you could say, the most ideal replacement for Busquets. The only issue is that he's about 40 years old, and that is Oriol Romeu. Gerard Romero came out saying that Girona Oriol Romeu is a low-cost option on Barcelona's table for the pivot position as a substitute for Sergio Busquets. Apparently, his entourage has also offered him to Barcelona. Of course, former Barcelona player, former La Masia player, La Masia graduate, played for Southampton, Chelsea. So he's been around quite a bit. Listen, I think on this list, honestly, he's probably, you could say, along with Zubimendi, the best option. But the man's about 40 years old, so of course, in my opinion, I would say clear. Let's now take a look at the overall list. Of course, Zubimendi, Guido Rodriguez, Vermeeren, Ruben Neves, Sofiane Amrabat, N'Golo Kante, and Oriol Romeu. If you look at this list in depth, of course, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 names. I think 4 of them are like box-to-box midfielders. So N'Golo Kante, box-to-box, Amrabat, box-to-box, and Ruben Neves, box-to-box. The rest, I think of Vermeeren is a pivot. Guido Rodriguez, you could say, is a box-to-box. He plays a lot, mainly in a double pivot. Of course, Zubimendi single pivot, and Oriol Romeu single pivot. So the profiles are very, very mixed for a list of players for one position. If I were to put it in an order, I probably would say Zubimendi first, of course. Then probably Sofiane Amrabat, I would say. Then maybe Guido Rodriguez. Then Vermeeren, Ruben Neves, N'Golo Kante, and Oriol Romeu. We'll see what the club does. I think the club will firstly try to do Zubimendi, contact him, see if he wants to move if the release clause is activated. And if not, though, we're in for a real downtime. Because apart from Zubimendi and maybe Amrabat, I'm not excited about any other name on this list. Maybe Vermeeren could be exciting, but again, it's way too early to tell. I think we need someone who's not established but does have a bit of experience right now. Maybe you want to bring in Zubimendi and Vermeeren. I'm down for that. But we'll have to wait to see what the club decide. But again, here is the main 7 players for Barcelona to reinforce the pivot position this summer. Now, another midfielder who Barcelona want to bring in to reinforce that midfield is, of course, Ilkay Gundogan, who can play in the pivot, but will be coming in more as a box-to-box midfielder to either replace Pablo Torre, maybe Franck Kessie, and provide that extra experience and technical ability on the ball in the Barcelona midfield. We are currently hearing at the moment that his signing is looking very, very difficult, and I'll explain why in just a second. First, Mateo Morito has come out saying the signing of Ilkay Gundogan to Barcelona is quite advanced, but Barcelona must adjust to fair play and clear space in their wage bill for the transfer to take place. So on a personal term with Gundogan, Barcelona and Gundogan, it is very, very advanced. The only issue again is the registration of the player. Now, Edu Polo from Deportivo has come out saying the delay is getting the green light from La Liga is putting potential signings such as Ilkay Gundogan at risk. Currently, his arrival is very uncertain, and Man City are also pressuring him to sign a new contract. So, if Barcelona didn't have any fair play issues, I think Gundogan will already signed by now. We're just waiting now to see the financial fair play margin, see where we're currently at. Of course, Busquets, Jordi Alba are leaving. That's going to release a huge amount of wages off our wage bill. But the first thing the club want to do is register Xavi and Araujo first, their new contracts. Now, of course, bring the number a bit lower, and I don't know if Gundogan can still fit in that section. But again, his signing, I think, in my opinion, is well advanced, and it looks like it's well advanced as well. I think he would be a fantastic signing. The only issue now is about his registration. Once that's thought out, his signing will be made almost official, but at the moment, Man City are pushing hard to renew him. They are offering him a new deal as well. But what we know for certain at the moment is that Gundogan will wait until after the Champions League final to make his decision. Now, along with the midfield, the position that Barcelona need to reinforce this summer is, of course, in the right back position, as currently in the squad, there is no natural right back whatsoever. But of course, we do know that Barcelona is in the market to sign one, and Mateo Morito has come out saying that players on Barcelona's list for the right back position are as follows, in order as well: João Cancelo, Juan Foyth, and Jeremy Frimpong. Again, already know this, more confirmation that João Cancelo right now is the #1 target for Barcelona to reinforce the right back position. Is now all about making advancements. I think we can't really make any advancements until his loan deal ends with Bayern Munich, which will be, of course, on June the 30th, but their season does end, I believe, this weekend when they play the last game in the Bundesliga. After that, their season is basically over. Bayern Munich probably just don't care if they negotiate with them, if they let Cancelo negotiate with other clubs. Again, they won't activate the €7 million buyback buy option they do have for him, so he will be on the move this summer, and hopefully it's to Barcelona. Now, the final position that Barcelona need to strengthen this summer is, of course, the number 9 position to bring in coverage and also competition for Robert Lewandowski. And in that area, we have again been offered another player, and that is Marcus Thuram, who will be, of course, a free agent. But Teo Marito has come out saying that Marcus Thuram has been offered to and served by Barcelona, among other clubs. Again, currently hearing that Victor Roca deal is cold, complications, according to Juan Martí, was, to be honest, has not been great recently, but he's come out saying that. Look, I've seen a lot of people saying that they'd rather have Thuram on a free than Aubameyang, because if Thuram, doesn't do well, you can sell him on for a profit, which, to be honest, I don't mind either. I think Barcelona in some way should perform this summer will sign number 9, whether it's Victor Roca, Alba, Thuram. It has to be done. Lewandowski cannot be playing the same amount of games this season that he did this season. Next season, it's just unfeasible for him. He's getting older as well. And when he plays too many minutes, his form dips, and that's been a clear evidence from this season, should I say. So, away on Thuram. Again, of course, his father used to play for Barcelona, Lilian Thuram. Decent option for the club. The club will analyze it for sure, but of course their main target right now is Victor Roca. Once that deal 100% falls through, they will analyze their options. Now, of course, Barcelona's number 1 target for the upcoming summer transfer window is, of course, the greatest human being to ever touch a football, Lionel Andreas Messi. We do have an update quickly on his potential return this summer. Not really news, more so updates surrounding the situation. Of course, we have seen now the departure of Piqué, Busquets, and Alba over recent months, all very close to Messi. Maybe Piqué not, take that as you will. Now, when Jordi Alba left in the video, I did say that I don't think Messi will return now, and I still don't believe that, but the reports are suggesting otherwise. Alfredo Martinez come out saying the operation of Messi, Busquets, and Jordi Alba are all absolutely independent. Of course, Joan Demiro came out as well saying that Jordi Alba's exit has no influence whatsoever on Leo Messi. And we heard that a lot, both when Busquets and both when Alba leaves, but for me, it just doesn't make sense. Now, Edu Polo from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Messi, Roberto, Busquets, and Jordi Alba all had a dinner in Paris last week, where the players at Barcelona, about Alba, Busquets, Roberto, asked Messi if he has an offer on the table from Barcelona or not, and he said no. I mean, this is... I just don't understand why all of Messi's friends are all of a sudden leaving Barcelona. Busquets' decision was sudden. Jordi Alba's decision was sudden. It's not adding up for me. Now, of course, Messi can come back still, but it doesn't make... Like, if I'm Messi, I'm going back to a club that I've loved for my life. I have friends there, you want to come in, integrate well. Yes, everyone's going to bow down to me. I'm going to get the captain's armband straight away. Like, I get that. But I'm coming back just knowing Ter Stegen and Dembele, essentially. And then maybe, Araujo and Pedri that you only played for a year. And then Ter Stegen, there was clearly beef there, but now the beef looks like it's been squashed. Dembele, apparently there was beef, but now it's apparently squashed. So, just not adding up for me. Hopefully, I am categorically incorrect. But if I were to make a prediction right now, I would say it's difficult, but wait and see. All of his friends are leaving, so he's going to come back to a very, very fresh squad in need of a captain, in need of a leader, in need of a best player in the world to push on all 4 fronts. So, we'll see what happens on the return of Leo Messi, but until we get this goddamn green light from La Liga, nothing's going to really advance. Let's now discuss the players who have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past 48 hours. First up is one of the star players of the club, and probably could say one of the best, if not the best player over the past season, Andreas Christensen. Now, the Marcio has come out saying that Inter Milan are very interested in signing Christensen, and Ramiro confirmed that 2 English clubs have asked Barcelona about Christensen's situation. So there is interest in Andreas Christensen for the summer, but of course, if you're going to be the best club in the world, other clubs will be interested in all your players. This is no surprise to me whatsoever. I said the same thing about Kounde. I'll say it again. 90 million, 100 million, and we'll talk. Submit the bid, we'll talk about it, we'll analyze it, we'll see what we can do. Probably will say no, but till that bid comes in, I would not be interested, and I wouldn't, entertain any news whatsoever. So we'll wait and see with Christensen. Again, I don't really see him leaving. I think he's happy in Barcelona. The club is happy. I don't think any offer really would tempt him unless he's getting, quarter 400,000 euros per week, something ridiculous like that. But I would put a pin in it for now. I do not see Andreas Christensen coming to Barcelona, barring, of course, an outrageous offer. Now, another player who Inter Milan is also very interested in is Franck Kessie. Now, Matteo Morito has come out saying there are several clubs interested in Franck Kessie, but there's nothing advanced at the moment. He also came out saying that Inter Milan are super interested, but they only want to do player swap deals with Barcelona and not cash, which is what Barcelona wants. Jonathan Mera also confirmed that Inter Milan remains very interested in Franck Kessie. Look, if you want to sell Kessie, I think we'll have no problems in doing so. I cannot see him leaving. I don't think the player wants to leave. I know for a fact that Xavi doesn't want him to leave either, but if he leaves, he won't be, too butthurt about it. I also want him to stay because I don't want Ruben Neves coming. I'm going to be completely honest. But hey, if an offer comes in above 25 million, we'll talk. I think we'll probably take it, honestly, but I'm not interested in any player swap deal whatsoever with Inter Milan unless they're giving us Nico Barella. They won't give us their best players for one of our squad players. They'll give us, a Brozovic, I don't know, Matteo Darmian, whatever the case may be. They're going to give us their deadwood for one of our better squad rotation players, and that for me is just unfeasible. I think, we're best friends. We're both been screwed financially. Let's help each other out, because in Italy, their fair play things is completely different. They got to balance their books before June the 30th and all this stuff, and over there it's crazy, and player swap deals count for words, as income, all this stuff. So what's with Franck Kessie? Again, Inter Milan very, very interested, but the main thing to note is that Barcelona want cash and no player swaps. Let's now discuss some of the updates surrounding the loan players returning to Barcelona this summer. First update is on Sergino Dest, where Kounde have come out saying that those around Dest maintain the only thing that's certain at the moment is that he will return to Barcelona after his failed loan move at AC Milan, and the club wants to include him in an operation this summer. So I guess Dest doesn't really have any value, so the club rather use him in a player deal. For example, Real Sociedad, 50 million plus Dest, save on 10 million, get rid of a player you don't want. I'm sure Dest would be open to the move. Now, Barca Times on Twitter, that has been, fairly reliable over recent months, they came out saying that Atletico Madrid are interested in Dest and that there could be a swap deal between Dest and Carrasco. Straight swap, I'm down. I'll have at it. If Atletico want money on top of that, I wouldn't be too interested, because I think Barcelona want to sign Carrasco for 10. I'd value Dest at 10, especially with the current years he does have on his contract and the lack of right backs in the market. I'd do a straight swap, but we'll wait and see on Dest. But what's clear is that his future is not in Barcelona, but he will return to Barcelona during the summer period. The next loan update is on Clement Lenglet, where Kounde have come out saying that Lenglet waits to wait for a new coach to know his plan and if necessary to stay at Tottenham. He's not agreed on the continuation with Tottenham, but he sees it with good eyes. Again, with Clement Lenglet, we will not get any significant update until Tottenham Hotspur appoint a new manager. They wanted the Feyenoord manager, I forget his name, starts with an S, but he just confirmed he's staying at Feyenoord, so now Tottenham are still scrounging around to find a new manager. Let's hope this manager wants to keep Lenglet. That way Barcelona can negotiate a deal. I think Tottenham will pay 10 million, no problem whatsoever. If they don't, I think the club should include Lenglet in other operations. If they can sell him, great. If not, include him in an operation, because I do not want to see him go out on loan again. Of course, no future at Barcelona whatsoever, but I am worried that the club may loan him out again. So I'll wait and see on Lenglet, but again, until Tottenham Hotspur get a new manager, his future will remain uncertain. The next loan update is on Samuel Umtiti, who has been doing a lot of speaking in the media over the past few days. We do have some quotes coming in where I'm absolutely gonna tear him a new one, and we also have actual news report on update on his future. Now, he's come out in the media expressing his frustration at Barcelona. He said that it felt like for 4 years of imprisonment at Barcelona, not just on a sporting level, but in my everyday life too. I was really in a bad way. I prefer to stay out of everyone's way. At the start, I felt good and performed at a high level, but then I started to deliver some differences towards me and realized that nobody believed in me anymore. What? You felt imprisoned for 4 years? Motherfucker, we trying to get rid of you for 4 years. You didn't want to leave. You wanted to stay and collect your wage. Which, fair enough, you deserve it. That Barto cunt gave it to you, the freaking retard. But what can you do? What can you do? Now, you cannot be saying this, that you were imprisoned. We begged you to leave. You're the one who came crying to Laporta, begging to stay. What absolute crap. And then he talks about the, I started to feel some differences towards me. We told you to get the surgery. You're the one that wanted to risk your knee for a World Cup. Again, your choice. Fair enough. Credit to you. But don't say that you had differences. You went and risked your whole career for a World Cup. You got the World Cup, and now your career's washed. The audacity to blame Barcelona for your decisions is ridiculous. Again, you were not in prison. We were begging you to leave from 2019. You were the one that stayed. You begged Laporta, cried to stay. Absolute crap. Comes out about his Barcelona contract, saying that I'm still under contract with Barcelona until 2026, but it's true that I really need to feel respected, appreciated, and feel good in Italy. I love the language, I love the style. Piss off, whatever. I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. I'm happy after these 4 difficult years. The word difficult, you just didn't want to leave. I managed to find my smile and desire to play football again. I know that if I was going to get my confidence back, I was going to be able to express myself as I did a few years back. Good for you. Piss off. Cancer came out saying that Umtiti could return to Lyon or stay at Lecce, except that they will be at 0 price. So it looks like we're going to get him away for free. I don't care. Big Samu, your 2017, 2018, you were peak. You were great. But since then, since that World Cup in Russia, you've been washed. And don't chat to me about being imprisoned in Barcelona when Barcelona were begging you to leave. So, we'll wait and see with Samu. Again, absolutely no future at Barcelona whatsoever. And in some way, shape, or form this summer, he will leave the club permanently. The next loan update is on Alex Collado, where he is in search for a new club. Candace have come out saying that Alex Collado has 1 year left on his contract with Barcelona. He will look for an opportunity outside the club this summer. Apparently teams in England and Scotland are interested. I think Collado did have a chance this season if he shined to maybe come back to Barcelona and maybe get loaned out again with a contract extension. I think that could have been on the table. We all know that Xavi is a fan of the player, but another failed loan, you could say. Canada didn't work out too well. Elche, to be fair to him, he was injured, but I think the boat has truly sailed with Collado. I think at some point, in some way, shape, or form, again this summer, he will leave. If we get any money for him, that'd be great. I think we will see probably a Trincao-like deal where he leaves and stuff happens. They activate a buy option. If variables are achieved, we get some money. I think it'll be that kind of deal. I don't think we'll get straight cash for him, but definitely Collado will leave the club this summer. And the final loan update is on the 2 high-profile loan players in Abde and Nico Gonzalez. Candace have come out saying that Abde intends to do pre-season with Barcelona, but his future will depend on the market, and Nico will look for a way out through a loan or a transfer this summer. Now also, Santi from Foot Mercado came out saying that Bayern Leverkusen are very interested in Abde. He's among their priority targets for them to reinforce their attack. Very, very clear Abde has a market. Of course, Jordan Mira already confirmed that 2 clubs have bid for him, one from the Premier League and one from La Liga. With Nico, it's a bit different. To be fair to him, he's been playing very well for Valencia over the past months since returning from his big injury. But again, looks like Barcelona do not have him in their plans, which fair enough. I would love to see him on loan. I think if it's a transfer, you've got to get a good amount of money for him. I'd say 15-20 million. I think the kid is got some talent to him. I would prefer to loan him out 1 more season, especially see what Barcelona do in the pivot. Let's say we bring in Zubimendi and someone else, Oriol Romeo in a 1-year deal, and then loan Nico, then bring back Nico after Oriol Romeo leaves, whatever the case may be. I think holding on to Nico just for now with the uncertainty in the pivot position is important, but we'll wait and see. I think Abde's future would be very, very interesting. Looks like he is set to do preseason with the club. I think that will be the case. If he shines and things go his way, he could end up staying. But if not, I think there's a good chance that Barcelona will accept a deal for him this summer. Now, a player that will not be leaving Barcelona this summer, and it has been confirmed by the player himself, is Jules Kounde. How this saga has been turned over the past 72 hours. Now, of course, all the news broke out from Juan Martí, and they also came out saying the feeling is that the rift between Kounde and those at the Spotify Camp Nou offices is widening. In the locker room, they admit that Jules Kounde is fed up. So that's, again, more signs to a possible exit. Mattia Marito also came out saying there's a good chance of Jules Kounde leaving Barcelona this summer. Premier League clubs are interested in attaining his services. You're probably thinking if a good offer comes in, Kounde is gone. Now, also, Juan Martí came out speaking on his podcast, Siempre Podcast, and he was asked about Kounde. He said, first, I am happy because Kounde always likes to deny it on his accounts, and he has not denied the news quite yet. As we said, the player is not happy with his position. That's pretty much confirmed. Xavi promised him and told him that he will play with Araujo and he would be the best duo in the world. That is correct. Kounde believes his quality and skills will be better as a defender, as a center back should I say, than as a right back. When he heard that Xavi said that signing with a right back position is not a priority, he spoke with Xavi and told him that he is not happy in his position, and if an offer comes in, we may listen to it, but Xavi promised him that next season he would be in the heart of the defense, but the player does not fully trust Barcelona, and he knows that his status of the club. And he said that he was asked about his personal opinion. He said that I personally think that Kounde will stay at Barcelona next season, but it is certain that there is, a Kounde case. Barcelona will consider sales if an offer comes over 80 million euros. That's incorrect. It's 90 million, and several clubs in England Premier League are interested in him, but there's no official offer yet. Offers may arrive in the coming days. He's basically saying that, look, Kounde is not happy. He will listen to offers if they come in. He still thinks that Kounde is going to stay. But if an offer comes in above 90, the club might accept it, and that might force Kounde to say, you know what, they accept the offer. Maybe they don't want me. Now look at that first line. He says at first, I am happy because Kounde always likes to deny on his account that he is not. I am happy because Kounde always likes to deny his information on his account, and he hasn't done so yet. This came out around like in the morning time. I'm thinking, you know what? He's got a point. Kounde, since he joined Barcelona, has always come out and tweeted when news about him isn't correct. I think there was one point where there was, I think what November, December time. Apparently, he wanted to leave in January because he's unhappy about playing right back. He came out saying that's not true. But since this, of course, Kounde has dropped the tweet, my center back, and he came out saying, at no time did I ask to leave. I'm not going anywhere. My center back, my guy. So basically, this does confirm that Kounde did ask Xavi to not play at right back anymore because he said, at no time did I ask to leave. So the other stuff, asking to move from right back to center back, is true, and he's not going anywhere. So, Clement Kounde, it's over. He's not going to leave. What's clear now is that he told Xavi, look, I don't want to play at right back. Things might change, I think, if we don't sign a right back and an offer does come in for him. I think the situation will change. I think Barcelona will sign a right back, whether it's Juan Foyth, Frimpong, hopefully João Cancelo. I think the signing will happen, and if the signing does happen, Kounde si queda. Let's now discuss some of the news starting Barcelona over the past 48 hours. Firstly, the sleeve sponsor has been confirmed. I never thought I would see the day. A year and a half I've waited for this goddamn sleeve sponsor. We finally got it. Barcelona officially announced they've signed a partnership with TP Vision to put Billy Light TV's name on the sleeve of the men's football team shirt. Of course, Billy Light is a company embedded inside Philips, which we already talked about on the channel. Sport then confirmed that Barcelona and MLBet TV have signed an agreement for 3 years with a 2-year option. First year will receive 8 million, second year 10, third year 12, and then fourth year will be 12 and 14 respectively. So of course there will be variables included in that deal as well that could rise the figure, but again, fantastic deal. I think it's an historic deal as well. And finally, we have capitalized on a market opportunity that we couldn't do in the past year or so. Now, on June the 6th, Barcelona will be playing a friendly match against Vissel Kobe in Tokyo as the final game of the 2022-2023 season. And of course, Andres Iniesta, Barcelona legend, does play for Vissel Kobe. His departure from the club has now been officially announced and confirmed. After 5 years, he will leave Vissel Kobe and he will still be playing on. He will not retire. He might go play in another European club, whether it be, Qatar or whatever the case may be. Maybe come back to Europe's top 5 leagues. You never know. But here's the big news. Apparently, in the friendly against Vissel Kobe in Barcelona, Andres Iniesta could play for Barcelona. Jody Hill from Sport came out saying that Andres Iniesta could put on a Barcelona shirt one last time on June the 6th. A friendly with Vissel Kobe has been arranged on the day, and the idea is that Iniesta could play one half for Barcelona and the other half for Vissel Kobe. How mental would that be? Walking up in a midfield with Pedri, Xavi, Iniesta. Oh, that's gonna be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. I'd absolutely love to see that happen. Honestly, I'd rather he play the full 90 for Barcelona, but just to make Vissel Kobe happy, we'll give him a 45-minute. Again, he's gonna leave, so there's no real stipulation whatsoever to the match. Is a friendly, anything can really go. So we could see Iniesta in this friendly play 45 minutes for Barcelona and 45 minutes of Vissel Kobe. Of course, not confirmed yet, but if it's confirmed, we are in for one hell of a night. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is give you guys an update on the captaincy at Barcelona, where of course 2 of the captains will be leaving the club, Busquets, the first captain, and Jordi Alba, the third captain, which means that Barcelona do need 2 more captains. Now, Javi Miguel from Iniest has come out saying that Xavi has already chosen the quartet of captains for next season, and it will be as follows. Number 1, Sergi Roberto. Now, Jordan Mero did say that someone else is going to leave this Sunday alongside Busquets and Jordi Alba. Everyone thought it'd be Roberto. He's confirmed it's not Roberto. So Roberto will be the first team captain next season. So we win the treble. He's lifted all 3 trophies. Second captain, who we'll probably see for the majority of the season, Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Third captain, Ronald Araujo. Yes, yes, yes. And the fourth captain, Robert Lewandowski, which I am very surprised about. I think I'm not a fan of players coming in like a year in or 2 and being given the captaincy. I think that's kind of disrespectful to, Ousmane Dembele, who's been here for years, and Frankie de Jong, who's been here for years as well. But he is a leader. I understand it. My only question is, I don't know if you guys know, there's a lot of roles and stipulations that come with being a captain, keeping the fines in check, communicating to the manager when things are happening, when things are not happening. So being able to communicate with everyone is very, very important. I don't know if Lewandowski speaks fluent Spanish or not. I know he knows some Spanish, but I think it's important for him to know that. But he's been given it, so fair play. Well, I'll back it, of course, but I'm not too big of a fan of it. I would have given it to either de Jong or Dembele, or maybe even Pedri or Gavi if you're feeling absolutely outrageous. But I'm very, very happy with Araujo being the third captain, which does mean we could expect, you could say, in the next 2 to 4 years, both ter Stegen and Roberto will leave in some capacity, which will mean that Araujo will be the first team captain. Now, there are reports saying that if Messi comes, he'll slot in straight as the first team captain and no one will bat an eye. So if Messi does come back, it'll be Messi first, Roberto second, ter Stegen third, and Araujo fourth. So that can also change as well. So we'll wait and see on that. Still a few tweaks left in the captaincy, but what's clear is that Roberto, ter Stegen, Araujo, and Lewandowski are the 4 main captains as of this day 4th. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want firstly, of course, is your thoughts on the pivot list. What would be your ordered priority? Would you go for Zubimendi for 60? Would you go for Vermeeren and maybe another option? What are your thoughts on Amrabat and N'Golo Kanté or Romeu being included? Secondly, on Gundogan, you think this transfer will happen or not? You think he'll end up signing that new deal with Man City? Thirdly, right back position, what are your thoughts on that? Would you sign 2 right backs this summer? And who would be your priority? And thoughts on Barcelona prioritizing João Cancelo? Thoughts on all the loan players updates as well on Christensen and Kessie? Would you accept offers for them this summer? On Kounde, his tweet, your thoughts on that? And also, of course, on the captaincy as well. And also make sure down below you subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.